job for the day.
Yes, it is. Okay. So the first victim is Dominique, is that right?
Keelan's in view at the moment.
Keelan. Hello. You have, yeah, Keelan. So Keelan is there. Yeah, I can see you. So if I click, how can I make it? Now you are, Graham, you are the big one. I'd like to have Keelan as the big one.
Graham or Adam, if you make me come co-host, I can be in charge of spotlight videos.
Now it's Dominique. Hello, Dominique.
Hi.
Hi. So
How do I get Dominic? How do I get Keelan to fill the screen?
So the three dots in the top of, if you hover over his screen and then click on that, you can spotlight the video, which will blow it up.
the video. Oh yeah, that's it. I have it. Okay.
And this will also do this for the recording, so don't forget to
Hi, Keelan. How are you?
spotlight the video when he's
Okay. Can you see me, hear me? Yes? I don't hear you.
We don't hear you, Keelan.
If I don't hear your voice, it doesn't matter, but if I don't hear the piano...
No. Keelan, if you pop into audio settings via the little hat next to the microphone, then microphone, you should have the option to use the built-in microphone. I suspect it's coming through your headphones, which is not ideal.
How about now? Is that working?
That's better, yeah.
I can hear you.
I've adjusted the volume. Is the piano okay?
Yeah. That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay,
Great.
good. Excellent. Oh.
Yeah, Pascal, I think when they did the sound check yesterday, they thought, is your laptop quite old, Keelan?
Yeah, it's not the best machine in the world.
Right. I think some of the other machines, Pascal, are better. But you sound okay. You sound okay, Keelan.
I don't know. I can see very well, so I can check on your fingers.
Great. Well, there's lots of people here. Graham, would you like to introduce Pascal before we get started?
Yeah. Just should we wait one more minute? Or maybe it's 9 o'clock. I suppose we can make a go for it.
It's time. I mean, for me, it's... For me, it's good. I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's a great pleasure to be able to invite Pascal Rogé for this online masterclass. And thank you very much, Pascal, for agreeing to be with us today. Pascal Rogé has had an amazing career, huge career. He's played with literally every orchestra under the sun and with so many and wonderful composers. He was a Decca recording artist from the age of 17. And as a result of that, he's made some fabulous recordings of French repertoire, especially the works of Maurice Ravel. So it's a great pleasure to welcome you here, Pascal. I do remember playing to you myself in a masterclass when I was 16. I played you to Boost the Rogé in the Chester Festival. Oh dear, we've got some interference on the line.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's rumbling away in the background, isn't it?
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, it seems to have gone.
That's better.
Yeah.
Huh?
Over to you, Keelan.
Okay.
Oh,
Good. Oh, excellent for such morning time. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, obviously, sound is going to be difficult to discuss because I cannot really hear your colors and all those things which are so important for me. But I'll try to say a few things, generally speaking, which can be heard even with bad sound. Is you are too stiff, you are too regular, you are too serious. It's in music. For me, it's already Debussy. It's obvious that Debussy was influenced by that kind of writing. The fluidity, the transparent, the colors, all that. I mean, the water. I mean, Debussy was obsessed with water. That's already the meaning of Debussy. And it's funny because very often I say to people playing Debussy, make sure it doesn't sound like Liszt. Because and I would be tempted to say today that make sure that it sounds a little bit like Debussy. Because the sound, the flexibility, the water atmosphere, all that, I mean, you should have, I don't know if you already, did you already play some Debussy, Rogé dans l'eau, or some of those?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really the same world. It needs more flexibility, more freedom in the rhythm, and it's because water is never regular. There's always that feeling of uncertainty, of moving. It should be moving. And already from the very beginning, I don't think you should start like, tempo. No, start like it's already started before, and suddenly we hear sound. But don't make it sound so precise and so rhythmical. Uh, As you were improvising, you're just looking for something, not you're too sure of what's going to happen next. Make us feel that, it's improvising, because it sounds like an improvisation. It doesn't, and it shouldn't sound from the beginning as a technical piece. That's what I say about Debussy, but I can say it about Liszt too in that particular piece. I know Liszt is associated with virtuosity, but not with this piece. He's already looking forward to more impressionistic thing, and so don't give us the impression from the very beginning that it's going to be a Liszt virtuoso piece. And if you start, it sounds like, it's fast. It shouldn't sound fast. It should sound harmonious, beautiful. Just feel free to start with now. Have the music in yourself before you start. That is, you already have the harmony, you already have the color in your head, and then you start playing, without really starting. You know what I mean? Try that.
I'm really sorry to interrupt, Colleen. Do you think you'd be able to log back in with your phone? We're getting quite a lot of noise on your laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Me?
Yes, please. If you have your phone to hand.
Yeah, I'll be quick.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm back with Graham now.
He's
Yes,
just going
so
to
sorry.
log back on with his phone because there was all that
Okay.
his laptop microphone. Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Hello.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Ah,
Much better. Thank you, Colleen.
Much better.
no problem.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, let's start again. Yeah. Yeah. Even the image is better.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. I'm going to stop you a little bit more. It's better. It's still too tight. I hear. I'm exaggerating a little. I'd like to hear every note. Think of harp. You know harp when they do those kind of glissando with two hands. You hear every note. It's fast, but every note has this little clarity on it. Think that you are almost playing non-legato. I know it's too fast to play non-legato, but can you feel an articulation, a light articulation on every note? So that would give you, it's like pearl of water. So every note should have that little, that's why I said don't play too fast. Otherwise it sounds like a run. Try slightly slower in order to feel that articulation on every note and to feel that every note has something special.
Okay.
Yes, much better. Yeah, much better. And maybe you think it's too slow. No, it's not.
No, it's good to slow me down.
No,
Yeah.
it's not too slow. It's really because we get so much more information, so much more coloring. Even if the sound is not good, I can hear that every note has more value. And now, be careful, be conscious of the changes of harmony. So important. Because if you play it without something between the harmonies, people who listen won't notice it. We know the change, they don't. For instance, when you have every change of harmony, I don't mean that you should stop on every change, but you should do something in order that we feel the change. Otherwise, it sounds like a rolling machine, and we don't hear the beauty of the changes. Okay? So be conscious of those changes, enjoy them. Try again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, better. Now, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you a lot, but that's
okay.
we don't have much time, so I need to give you as much information as possible. You have a section of 3 harmonies, okay? And then you go to another section, which is a section that would go to that top harmony, and then you will go down. So all that has to be noticed. So you did very well now, the 3 changes of harmony. Now think of the next section as before you had three sections, I mean three arpeggios with the same harmony, and suddenly you have a different harmony on every arpeggio. And that's the going up. I should feel the difference.
Okay.
Okay? One more time from the beginning. Yes, much better. Now it's now next section when you reach the top. So the bar where it says forte. It's a top. So once you get to the top, stay a little there. Just show us that finally we reached the top and now we're going down. But before going down, you need to stay a little bit more on the top. So make that bar of here, and then you can go down. But we need to get the feeling of, finally we get there. Okay? So last time, and then we go on. Yes, see, I'm thinking that you will be able to apply to many things later. So that's why I say everything on that little. So you did the top very well. Then you go down another section. Suddenly you were for 2 bars in the same harmony, and then suddenly you go down to a different harmony, and it changes again every twice a bar. So that we need to feel the change. And then when you start don't start too fast, because it's another pattern. We need, all those little differences in pattern and in harmonies, we have to feel them. Okay? Start from the top.
Yep.
Okay, very good. One more thing, it's the crescendo. It's a long crescendo, and it gets, I mean, you don't go to fortissimo. So I think those crescendos, that's what I call the crescendos in step. You need to go up, down, up, down, up, down, because otherwise you get too soon forte. Okay, so use the change of the pattern of
Yeah.
when you get to the next octave, go down. I mean, not really down, but try to make it like a step. Go
Yeah.
down. So then you have more possibility to get to the top without being fortissimo. Okay? Try from. Okay, that's good. When you have the section when you, because try to move a little bit more. Forget about the ritornando or whatever it says. Just follow the line, and you will move up, and then you will move down. It's too static. It shouldn't be. Forget the right hand, because the right hand is not important anymore. It's just harmonies. But the left hand should be more. And when you get, make those things like that 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you respect the rhythm exactly, fine, but it's not that. Try to make things that suddenly the water drops and it stops, but without stopping. Make it happen like, it's uncertain. It's too square. Try from.
Yep.
Yes. That I cannot hear because of the sound, so I just mention it. Make sure that those two chords, they don't sound the same. I'm sure you don't, but I'm just mentioning it because that I cannot. That's the kind of thing I cannot hear.
Okay.
make sure that the second one is different. Obviously less because he has an accent on the first one and not on the, but I'm not talking about accents. I'm just talking about colors. It's more important. But that's what he means. Never play twice the same thing. And this is obvious that the second should be different. Okay, so start from the second one. Yeah, that figure here, make it sound like a little wave, something that gives us a feeling of movement. Not again, not just. Make sure that it feels like suddenly there's a kind of wind or something that makes the water go somewhere different. It's triplet. Triplets always means movements because it's a rhythm that makes you go forward. So give a little bit more of élan, we say in French. I don't know that word in English. Just move forward.
Okay.
Try directly from.
Yep.
Now we have a new section from here. You should establish that the right hand is not going to be metronomic, not regular. It's drops of water. So from the beginning, you should establish something that which will give you freedom in the next bars. Because if you start exactly in time, you have to stick in time. But if you start with a little bit of flexibility, then your left hand will be able to sing the way she wants. She doesn't have to feel that the right hand is there to keep her busy. No, the right hand is following the left hand, not the reverse. But since the right hand has the rhythm, it has to be flexible. Otherwise, the left hand will be feeling like, I'm prisoner of the right hand. So from the beginning, give freedom in the right hand, then your left hand will be free again.
Okay.
Like the bar before. Okay, then it's the same thing twice. We need to go forward because the lack of time. Can you go to the?
Yep. Yep.
Again, that's something I cannot hear. So I will just mention it. Make sure that your right hand doesn't sound like a virtuoso thing. Don't tie it up at the top. Keep the clarity. Keep really as a transparent accompaniment, but don't make it sound like it's suddenly a virtuoso thing. I don't think you do, but it's just something I mentioned because I know it's tempting to do. It's not that, and it's all about the left hand. Okay. Okay, so that's the kind of same section. Also something I cannot hear, but make sure that the top line. That the left hand, your top line has a different touch, a different sound than the bottom one. Don't play them as a 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that the top line has a phrasing and a sound continuation that is not the same than the bottom line. Okay. Probably you do it, but that's something I cannot hear very well. So I'm just mentioning it. Okay. Try from. You see that passage, riforzando?
Yep. Yep.
Very important moment, harmonically. Okay, the modulation is so beautiful. Yeah. That's why he writes an arpeggio in the left hand. It's just to give you a hint that, be careful. This harmony is so beautiful. I like it. I want you to make it special. You know, I always regret for Debussy, Ravel, and Liszt in that case that there is not a musical sign which says, do something. Because that's essential. And for those composers, or most composers, where harmony is so important, when they find a beautiful modulation, and Debussy even more, when he finds that beautiful chord, he wants you to say, it's so beautiful, do something. So they put an accent, they put a crescendo, they put something just to make you conscious of how beautiful this is. So it doesn't mean that, it's arpeggio, okay, I do arpeggio. No, take the time to do what you want. See, that arpeggio, the first one, is not the same as the following ones. Because the following ones are in the same harmony. We know already. We already had the emotion of the change. But the first one is the key one.
Yeah.
So try the bar before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the change of pattern in the right hand. Make sure that we understand that, it's different. He could have gone on with the same. No, he found another one. So you want the audience to realize that. You know it, they don't. So make sure that there's something that makes them feel, interesting. Okay. So try again the bar before.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Change of harmony, beautiful modulation, arpeggio. So he says pianissimo, dolcissimo, but we are already pianissimo. So why does he put back a pianissimo there? Because he says again, important, do something. It's the dynamics indications are often not important. For me, piano, pianissimo, forte, fortissimo doesn't make any difference. But I always notice why they put that here. And for me, the harmony is much more important than the dynamic. And I follow the harmony. When I find a beautiful harmony, I say, I want them to hear. Most of the time, the composers will tell you, but sometimes they don't because they assume, or maybe sometimes you enjoy an harmony that, special one. Make sure that I understand that you enjoy that harmony. But that one is really special. And it's also a change of pattern. So try maybe 2 bars before. Two or three bars before.
Try again.
It's already before the arpeggio. You should already think of the change, the bar before.
Okay.
Another one. It's another important one there. And again, that kind of dynamic, pianissimo, crescendo, to piano, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's not possible physically, but it's a sign to tell you, look, listen, that modulation is so beautiful. So you have to prepare it. You have to think of it before you play, because once you play it, it's too late. Arpeggio or not arpeggio doesn't matter, but make sure that B flat sounds really special. So in order to sound it special, don't think dynamic, think time. You need time before and you need time on it. Timing is the only thing that we'll notice, because people won't notice the difference between pianissimo and piano, but they will notice the time change. Try from.
Yep.
That's another important change. So the key change is a tempo, but dolcissimo, tranquillo, and so on. All those indications are to make you conscious that it's going to be a long phrase and it's going to happen, it's going to go to a climax. So you need to go down and to sort of restrain yourself. Don't start, you know that it's going to move, but don't start moving already. On the contrary, start underneath, because you know that you will need time to build up that climax.
Yeah.
The first triplet should be really, in order that the first, second one, you can do it differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Try
We go from there.
That bar should already be a sign of something special. Maybe try one or two bars before. Okay. One thing important, when you get to a climax, like here, it's not the dynamic which makes the climax happening. It's the timing. It's the tension that you build, because in that register you don't want to play fortissimo, because it's up and it's hard, it's loud, it's not a nice sound here. So the only way to make it sound like a climax is to stretch the line, to take time and show that well, it's so important, but that doesn't mean you play louder, and it's much more effective. Remember that to create a climax, time is more important than dynamic, because most of the time when you reach the climax, you're already fortissimo. And the only thing that will make it sound special, it's the stretching, the tension. Try from here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Look, make sure that, be careful that the first bar, when here you need time. So if you rush those two notes, it sounds like, and the phrase is unbalanced. So don't rush those two notes in order that the time you need to do the arpeggio sounds natural. Because it should sound like but because of the timing, you need to. That sounds natural. That doesn't sound natural. Okay? So think of that line as again flexible, taking time musically, but also because technically you need that time. But it shouldn't sound like a technical problem. It should sound like a musical reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Try again. Okay, the change when you have from here, we should feel the tension from the first one. It doesn't mean that you have to play the first one faster, because otherwise you're stuck, you cannot do any more accenando, but create some tension from the very beginning. We should feel the difference. I don't really go faster, but I create a kind of tension inside that makes that passage already special.
Yeah.
It's not, again, it's not so much about going faster. It's more about creating tension. So, try from- One thing, don't slow down the last run when you hear because you're going towards the climax. If you slow down, you kind of you dismiss the climax because you are going to a più vivo. This should be so don't slow down before. On the contrary, go forward because you're going to the climax. You see what I mean? The last one?
Yeah. Yeah.
That one should really be the most moving one.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, we don't have much time left. The end was good. Yeah, the last page, when you have... it says un poco più lento.
Yeah.
Don't make it sound like a stop immediate. It's like you play too much like a break. You are still, it's been such a intense movement, you cannot stop it immediately. So I think, and it's a long piulento. I mean, you have kind of 8 bars of that. So the first one, okay, it's piano, but it's not yet calm. Make it happen little by little.
Okay.
It's like if you run and you are out of breath and suddenly you stop, you cannot have your normal breath immediately back. There's still, even if you stop, your heart is still moving. So that's what I should feel in that passage. Okay, I stopped the run, but I'm still in it. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the real calmo is here. So you have 8 bars to count down. Try the last 2 bars before the poco piulento.
Yep. No. no. So I hit
Make
the.
sure make sure that I hear the difference between the D natural and the D sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 changes, 4 modulation. All of them. But the arpeggio should be different. Again, you cannot do a crescendo in one bar, but you can do a difference of timing, which will make that chord special. Because if the soft one is rather slow, but this one, it should be already different. Then again, that change of harmony should be both sound and time different. Try from the C major.
Yep.
Okay, good. I always try when I have an important change of harmony or climax or something that musically important, I always try to think more than dynamic and speed. I mean, for me, dynamic and tempo are not so important. It's much more about the color, the timing, the thing that I can add to that in order to make it special. And most of the time, playing louder or playing faster doesn't make things special. You see what I mean? I mean, it's beyond that. Those two things, faster, slower, louder, it's not important for me. Because you can play slower and make it sound more important or whatever. But the speed and the dynamic is only a small indication on what you can bring and make it happen musically and with sound and time.
Pascal,
Yes,
thank
we
you
have to
so
go.
much. I'm just wondering whether we need to move on to the next person.
Thank you. Thank you, Keelan.
Thank
Bravo.
you,
Thank
Ian.
you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so what do I do now?
So next we have Maria, and Maria's going to play some Chopin preludes.
Not the 24th of them, I guess.
No, not all of them. Maybe, you can work out with Maria which ones you'd like to work on.
Or she chose. She chose.
Okay.
She should decide.
Good morning, Maria.
Morning.
Hello, Maria. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, thanks.
Which preludes would you like to work on?
Sorry, how can I see the Pascal? Because
I see you.
I can only see myself at the moment.
Dominique, can
Maria, what I'll do is while you play for us, it'll just be you, so everyone can see you. But then
okay.
when Pascal starts talking, I'll spotlight Pascal, if that's okay.
Okay. Well, I could do. How long should I do? How long should I play for?
Well, we have 45 minutes, so it depends. Do you want to play them in order and stop for a while, or do you have favorite ones that you would like to play?
Can I do like 21 to 24 or something?
Yeah, anyone. I mean, I think you should play 3 or 4 that you want, and then I mean, the one you really want to play, and then we work on it, and then if we have more time, we go from others. I mean, up to you, entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'll play. I'll try and play 21 to 24.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Bravo Maria. Great, beautiful. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All is fine. Okay. So let's go back to 21. Um, which hand is more important for you in that prelude, the beginning?
Sorry, which?
Which hand? Which part? Is it the right hand or is it the left hand?
Uh, well, both.
Huh?
Both.
Both?
But the left hand is probably a bit more interesting.
The left hand? Or both? Which one do you think is? I'm the audience. I'm the listener. Which hand do you want me to say? Ah, this is the one I should listen to first.
The right, but the top line.
Yes, I agree also. But you give me the other information. I have the impression that the left hand is the most important because first you played too much as a melody. It's a counter melody for me. It's a beautiful counter melody. It's underneath. And also the fact that you move forward too much, then it means that you have to stop. So I have that kind of seasick feeling that I move, I go back, I move, I go back within every bar, which I think is not good. That left hand should be regular. It's kind of regular. As you say, it's an accompaniment. So if you play too much, it makes me think like I'm like this, and second, it makes me listen to it because it moves. It's weird. You know, it's quite difficult to tell the audience, listen, the melody is the right hand because there's only one note. So it means that one note must be really out and expressive, and the left hand really soft. Maybe later you can emphasize the left hand a little bit more because we already have heard that the melody is on the right hand. But at the very beginning, you should make it clear that the balance is that way, right, left. Okay? So try beginning again without moving too much. Try to play regular. I know you won't play regular later on, but try as a exercise to play regularly. Try the beginning. Okay, much better. Now I get the message. And now I'm listening to the right hand. I think also when you start, I think you shouldn't start too soon the second note in the left hand. Let us enjoy just let's enjoy the melody, the first note of the melody as the main one, before we hear the left hand going. I mean, the line of the left hand. It should have a little bit more time on the first note. Okay. Okay, very good, much better. Now the lesson, that's something I cannot hear very well because of the sound quality, but I want to make sure that your top line of the left hand, it's not the same sound as the bottom line. I mean that should be a different sound in order that if if we need to hear something of the left hand, it's more the top line. Okay, don't think of it as chords or as two lines. Think of it as one line and another one. Can you play just the left hand alone? No, try from the first note, because I think the timing is also important. Okay. Try to start without you start too soon. Think that the left hand is kind of she doesn't know yet exactly where she's going. It's kind of slowly into the tempo. Try again. Just the left hand. Yeah. Now, I think that when the line goes, I know the dynamic is every time the same, that little crescendo, but I think when the line goes up, it should be different than when the line goes down. You know? And this one, this kind of harmonically, and it's the highest note. Try again, just the left hand. Okay, good. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but I would advise to practice hand separated a lot, because those two hands, they have such different everything. Harmony, line, tempo, signification, everything is different. So I'm not meaning that you are at a stage or level to practice separated hands, but I still do, because it's so important to teach every hand and sometimes every finger what they have to do. Because I know it's technically it's not difficult, so you can learn it and play it almost immediately. But in order to get every single detail, every single phrasing, line, sound, you have to do that. Then it will be much easier when you play both hands together. That's an advice for everything. I believe in separated hands practicing. Okay, try the beginning, both hands. Okay. Bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the bar number 8. The left hand is for the first time alone. And it brings to another key. It brings to the minor for the first time. So that should be important. We should be prepared to hear a difference, because here it's really a different harmony, and the line in the top in the right hand is for the first time higher, so it's a very important change. So you only have that bar to create a, to make it really, really special. So try the bar before the end of the first line.